Have you ever wondered why a colicky infant can't calm down and be soothed? Or why it's so hard to redirect that wound up toddler or a young child in the middle of a meltdown? Or why a child with autism, ADHD, or anxiety struggles so much to calm and regulate in certain situations? Or how about you, mom and dad? Do you ever feel like your heart's just constantly racing, your stress levels are maxed out 24/7, and you can't fall asleep? In this video today, we'll be diving into the world of the sympathetic nervous system, which activates the body's fight or flight stress response and controls things like our adrenal glands, our cortisol levels, inflammation, and so much more. So, if you feel like you or your child have your gas pedal stuck on and you just can't get it off, then this video today is for you. So the sympathetic side of the nervous system, it's beautifully designed to help us out with all things that are related to short-term survival. So it kicks out adrenaline if we need to quickly grab our kid off of a busy street. It releases those feel-good chemicals after you step up and you give a really great big presentation. And it allows us to go into that mama bear mode when our families are threatened. So those are all great functions and they're absolutely necessary for our survival. When those stressful experiences pass, however, our body then needs to be able to calm that response, shift down a few gears, and turn that fight or flight switch back to its off position. But what happens if that switch gets stuck on? We'll talk about that shortly. But first, let's talk about kids and the sympathetic nervous system. Kids, especially infants and young children, they are unique in that they're supposed to spend the majority of their time in that parasympathetic growth and development mode, not in fight or flight. And one of the first signs that a child is stuck in sympathetic mode are things like colic and difficulty sleeping in infants, which then progresses to things like constipation, frequent big tantrums and meltdowns, behavior issues, sensory challenges, and so on. And one of the main foundational components of developmental delays and neurological disorders in kids is actually that their sympathetic nervous system is stuck on 24/7. We've nicknamed the situation as stuck on the gas pedal. And when that is the case for kids struggling with these issues, the healing, resting, and ability to relax just aren't happening because that gas pedal has been pinned to the floor for so long that now the body is just plain neuro-exhausted. So the body actually goes through a 3-step process when the gas pedal remains stuck on. Oftentimes, it's preconception stress or birth interventions like inductions, C-sections, vacuum extraction, or even just manual assistance to deliver that baby that first shifts the nervous system into that unbalanced state where the sympathetic or the fight or flight side becomes dominant. And when that imbalance persists, the body goes through what we call neuroconfusion. And this is when the information that's being sent from the body up to the brain becomes chaotic and confusing. And that's because of that long-standing neurological imbalance. The brain doesn't know how to appropriately respond. So in this step, we see things happen like speech challenges, developmental delays, missed milestones. And then finally, that third step, when left unaddressed, that sympathetic dominance and neuroconfusion becomes neuroexhaustion. And that's where those nerves that are responsible for carrying out all of the body functions, they've thrown in the towel. They've become underactive. And here's where we see anxiety turn into depression. Chronic fatigue occurs. There's constant immune challenges and just disinterest in things that once brought joy. None of this has to be the case. We have incredible technology in our office that allows us to determine if sympathetic dominance exists within your child's nervous system. It quantifies and it scores the severity of it, and it determines the exact location of the major subluxation that's causing all the trouble. It truly is that simple. There's actually a pile of research and information available out there on the sympathetic nervous system. It's kind of a hopping term right now in healthcare. So if you're interested in reading more, check out the article I'm going to add below into the comments. And if this sounds like you or your child, reach out to us to get some scans and see if a stuck sympathetic nervous system is behind the current health challenges that you just can't seem to get through. We're here to help.